Accelerate next-generation nuclear power. The Gulf crisis, although its short-term resolution is of vital importance, should be seen as an indication that Italy needs to accelerate the, necessarily gradual, reduction of its dependence on imported oil and gas. How? By placing next-generation nuclear power at the center of a broad mix of alternative energy sources. For months, the Italian financial sector has been paying close attention to the creation of public-private investment partnerships, PPPs. The government has virtually no fiscal space for new investments due to the enormous public debt, while the vast pool of Italian savings struggles to shift toward an expansionary cycle of future-oriented capital. Designing PPP programs is therefore a systemic priority for Italy. The recent announcement by the Minister of Energy that, by 2026, regulatory guidelines will be issued to promote civilian nuclear power under a technology-neutral framework alongside other clean sources represents, in my view, the most effective form of PPP cooperation, both to address competitive gaps, costs, and to drive the future orientation of the Italian economic system, as well as to encourage a greater share of domestic savings to move toward national investment cycles. Many Italian companies are engaged in the development of fourth-generation and advanced third-generation nuclear technologies, both through their own capabilities and through international collaborations. It should therefore be noted that the capacity of the Italian nuclear industry is primary, not secondary, and highly diversified. I do not wish to mention competing companies, but I cannot hide my preference for small modular fission reactors, SMRs, with intrinsic safety, which can be mass-produced, installed in very small areas, 2 hectares, and powered by spent, yet reusable, nuclear materials. When will the first prototypes arrive? Between 2030 and 2035, though the timeline could likely be brought forward. And nuclear fusion? It is still under study. Some announcements suggest it is near, but it is more likely to become a viable technology only from 2040 onward. For some time now, together with a dedicated research group, I have been working to define a formula for a mixed energy source framework that takes into account the transition toward clean energy, which still requires a certain, though gradually declining, volume of fossil fuels. A rapid expansion of ultra-safe civilian nuclear power would support the growth of intermittent sources, such as solar, by ensuring continuity of energy supply. More generally, I consider it possible to design a flexible energy mix model that can serve as a reference for national energy policy. How to accelerate this process? 2 elements are essential: an anticipatory zoning plan identifying the locations, or conditions, suitable for installing small nuclear reactors, and new regulations that recognize intrinsic safety technologies in order to reduce the construction costs of small and medium-scale nuclear plants. There is much work to be done, but the key to acceleration is to begin designing a long-term, 20-year, publicly listed PPP investment fund dedicated to next-generation nuclear power.